coaching staff has their eyes set on a second straight division title. Texas has dominated the A's this year, having won 7 straight over the. Today, Rich Harden will take the hill and try to salvage the series for the green and gold. Rich is coming off an impressive start in Toronto, but he'll have his hands full as the Texas Rangers have been clicking since the break. It's the final game of the series. A's Rangers next. Beautiful day for baseball at the O.co Coliseum. It is A's Fiesta Day here at the Coliseum. The Texas Rangers, well, they have flexed their muscles so far in this series. They've outscored the A's 16-2, but one more game left in the series, and the A's will try to salvage that game. So it's the third and final game of the series. It's the Oakland A's hosting the first place Texas Rangers. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, indeed, it's been a one-sided series so far, but today, Rich Harden will take them out, and he's pitching with a lot of confidence, especially after his last outing in Toronto.
Well, absolutely. There's no doubt he likes pitching here at the Coliseum. He's facing his former team of last year, but what he did against the Blue Jays in his last start was just unbelievable. He had the fastball working, the changeup was working. He actually made some adjustments thanks to his catcher getting the ball down in the strike zone, but there was nothing better than the 7th inning when he had first and third. Nobody got out of the inning, including strikeouts the last 2 batters. We have never seen him this pumped up. Even the guys in the dugout said the same thing. Stay away from him. Let's hope he does the same thing again this afternoon.
Well, Ron Washington, the manager of the first place Rangers, will tell you the reason they're in first place, they're starting pitching, and they have some young starters who have really done a good job. We'll see one of those today, Matt Harrison.
Another 10-game winner. This young man throws very hard. He's got a win against the Athletics. As a matter of fact, a lot of success against the A's, but he can throw the fastball, surprisingly for a lefty, in the mid-90s. A good straight fastball, but he also changes speeds very effectively. He's had success against the A's. Harden against the Rangers. Should be a great pitching matchup today.
And the Rangers will get set for a big 4-game series in Anaheim starting tomorrow night. So the A's maybe hope that the Rangers are looking ahead just a little bit. Series finale coming up from the Coliseum. We'll have lineups and then first pitch. Get set for the ball game. It's the A's and the Rangers.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. A's Fiesta Day at the ballpark. A festive atmosphere as the Rangers and the Athletics finish up this 3-game series. Rangers have won the first 2 games of the series. Game Time Weather is brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 69 degrees. It's a beautiful day at the ballpark. See the yellow hats, the A's Atleticos hats. That's the giveaway this afternoon. A's have taken the field. Lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate. So we are just moments away.
You said the best thing.
What?
Need a win.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because the A's have been outscored in this series. They've only scored 2 runs.
16-2 is the exact number.
Exactly. And, you know, we were looking at yesterday's game, and I know one of the scouts commented about Trevor Cahill, and he talked about he didn't give up anything. I said, but when you don't have runs on the board, every inning is a stressful inning. It's not like you talk about loading the bases and having to get through an inning like that. When you have zeros up on the board, that's a stress. You know, so Trevor Cahill, unfortunately, gave up a couple of runs, and the Rangers, they're the type of ball club that if you don't score some runs against them, it's going to make it a little bit tough because they're going to just wear you down.
Here's the Rangers lineup for this afternoon. Ian Kinsler at second base, Elvis Andrus at short, and it's Hamilton in center, Young at third, Cruz in right. Napoli's the catcher, Moreland at first. Torey Alba will DH, he's a hot hitter. And David Murphy. Getting a look at David Murphy for the first time in this series.
Now, Rich Harden on the mound, and he has been pitching well. You can't not look at anything more than his last start against the Blue Jays. 8th start on the season. Of course, I think he's going to be very pumped up today, facing a team that he pitched for last year, but unfortunately had some injuries. If he can keep the changeup down and his fastball down today against this good hitting club, he probably will have similar success that he had his last start against the Blue Jays.
Here's the A's defense for today. Willingham is in left. Coco Crisp back in there, so it's great to have Coco back in the lineup. DeJesus is in right. Sizemore, Pennington, Weeks, and Allen around the infield, and Kurt Suzuki is the catcher. So Richard finishing up the warm-up tosses. So Coco in the lineup. Last Saturday was when he left the game.
He has 4 stolen bases. The A's 7 stolen bases.
And the third base, number 16, Dave Anderson.
So Rich Harden is ready, and Kinsler steps in the box. The Texas Rangers won on Friday night 9-1. They won yesterday 7-1. So do the math. It's been a one-sided series so far. The A's hope to change that today and at least salvage 1 game. So Kinsler steps in. The first pitch of the ball game is a bit high.
First pitch, 109.
So Harden against Matt Harrison. That's the pitching matchup for today. Ray mentioned Harden pitching for the Texas Rangers last year. He made 18 starts and went 5-5. Very high ERA of 5.58.
But in start against the Rangers, his former team, this start against the Rangers in Arlington, everything down because his fastball was not down in the zone. The Rangers did not swing at it, figured it's a changeup. That was a good changeup he just threw. Also a good fastball down in the zone.
Oh, that hit Kinsler. So the trainer and the manager Ron Washington come out.
And Rich Harden unfortunately has a tendency at times to pitch up in the zone. The ball just, watch his elbow, it gets under it a little bit, and the ball just got him right on the left side, left elbow. Boy, he turned and left elbow, right, either on the bone or right above. That's too bad to get ahead with 2 strikes like that. The very tough leadoff hitter.
So Kinsler is going to stay in the game. And the Rangers have a leadoff base runner here in the first. Umpires for today: John Tempane calling balls and strikes. Ted Barrett is the crew chief. He's at first. Brian Runge at second, and Marvin Hudson at third. So Andrus steps in, hitting .277. 3 home runs and 44 runs batted in. He is 2 for 9 in this series.
Kinsler has good speed, stolen bases, and there are times when a hitter gets hit by a pitch, the first thing he does is run. Not run on the first pitch, but Andrus handles about well, so it could also be a hit and run if he does decide to take off.
The Rangers do not have a stolen base in this series. Jesus quickly to his left. He's got it. Andrus is retired.
And the Dodge Charger keys to the game for Harrison. He's a very quiet 10-game winner. Of course, the Rangers staff very good, and Harrison just one of them. And of course, tighten up the defense. Something we've been talking about all season. Started the season with pitching and defense being the number 2 priority, the 2 top priorities of this ball club to have success. And so far in this season, it has not been what the A's had hoped as far as catching the baseball. 2 of the worst fielding teams going head to head today again.
Josh Hamilton steps in. Well, unfortunately, the 4 errors yesterday. The A's 98 now on the season, and that's the most in the major leagues. They also made 2 errors on Friday night. Hit hard into right field, a base hit. Kinsler will stop at second. And now he hesitates, and he's going to try for third, and he's going to make it.
Well, it might have been a deke, and David Jesus has a good enough arm. The ball got to him quickly enough. And I think when he threw the ball back in the second, he may have assumed Kinsler was going to stop there. And a lot of times when the ball hit as hard as Hamilton hit it into right field, the runner, and Kinsler was not running hard to second base. And David, when you threw the ball down like that, it was not a throw to third base. It was not hitting the cutoff man. Watch him try to shut down there and then pick it up, take off.
He glanced, though.
Yeah.
Peeked over his shoulder to see what DeJesus was doing. So
he deked him well.
Yeah. So first and third, 1 out for Michael Young. And there's a strike. .335 the average for Young with 10 home runs and 79 runs batted in. 3rd best average in the American League. The RBIs also the 6th highest total in the American League, behind Granderson, Gonzalez, Teixeira, Konerko, and Cano. Pretty good company. He's tied with David Ortiz for the 6th spot in RBIs. .02 pitch, and Young stays alive.
This was in July, and that's the jet stream right center. The Rangers park in Arlington. And when you hit them in Texas, unlike what Michael Young did Friday night when he hit a ball to right field here, he doesn't run with his head down. He knows it's going out of Texas.
Young again sprays one to the right side. That was not a good start for Harden. He gave up 8 hits, 5 runs in 5 innings. And that was part of that disappointing 4-game sweep that the Rangers took over the Athletics down there in Arlington. Trying to work his way out of a jam here in the first. Kinsler at third, Hamilton at first, and that one in the dirt.
Well, Michael Young, a very tough hitter to strike out, but that's what Rich Harden wants, to strike out or a ground ball to get a double play to get out of the inning. But his changeup is good enough that even as good a hitter as Michael Young is, going to opposite field, a good changeup might get it.
And that one bounces away from Suzuki. Kinsler's going to try to score, and he just gets in ahead of the tag by Harden. So the Rangers once again jump out ahead 1-0.
Well, they didn't get that far away, but a secondary lead by Kinsler and good speed and aggressive ball club. And Rich Harden did his job getting to the plate, but just a little bit late. Actually, surprisingly, a pop-up slide by Kinsler on home plate. That's not usually a good sign. Slid late, maybe thought he's going to have an easier chance of getting there.
So Hamilton to second. This one's tapped slowly up the third base line, but we got a piece of Young's foot, so it's a foul ball. So a wild pitch, and that gives the Rangers the 1-0 lead. Michael Young in this series is 3 for 9, a couple of RBIs. That one in the dirt. Suzuki makes a nice play. So a full count. It was 0-2. Now it's 3-2 to Young. Nelson Cruz waiting in the on-deck circle. And that's low. He walked him. So Harden loses Young. First and second, one out.
Yeah, if you get a ground ball, it's not a bad walk. Very good about Michael Young. 0-2, fouled off 3 with a couple of strikes, and eventually drew the walk.
Well, the Rangers will look up at the scoreboard and see that the Angels have lost. The Blue Jays had a walk-off win. A base hit from Encarnacion in the 9th. So the Jays 5, Angels 4. That game just finished about 15 minutes ago.
Didn't I see the Angels were actually leading that game late?
They may have. I saw 4-4. Yeah. I'm not sure how much. Okay. So they did come back in that game. The Jays. So now the Rangers with a 3.5 game lead in the division.
Yeah, I said Laurie's the one who tied the game with a double. I wonder what he did after that. After he hit the grand slam, he never seen more excitement from Young after hitting the grand slam.
Oh, 0-2 to Cruz. Very close pitch.
I think from Rich Harden's standpoint, we showed the 7th inning in Toronto as this pitch off the plate, the line and batter's box, the left-handed hitter. But you do what he did in Toronto, it says a lot.
In the hole, and Pennington was going to go to third, and it would have been a close play there. Ball kind of popped out of his glove.
E6. That's a tough error. Come on.
Yeah, that is a tough error.
I mean, if your only play is going to be trying to get the runner at third, to go to the hole, who's he going to throw out? That's horrible. Yeah, he changed the base hit.
Did that?
I mean, yeah, he at least watched the replay to see that. Should have seen it unless he missed the replay or missed the actual play itself. But that was a tough play. He was hopeful, and it'd been nice that he could have gotten the runner at third.
So give Cruz the single. Now the bases are loaded with one out for Mike Napoli. So a dangerous point in this game, even though it's the top of the first inning.
Napoli had a big at bat against Rich Harden, big in a sense that he took a 3-2 changeup in the dirt. And a pitch that a lot of times the hitter will be swinging at, but that's the one Rich said that the hitters with anything down knew it was a changeup and normally would be out of the strike zone because his fastball was up in the zone. So here's a situation where Napoli, a very aggressive hitter, but also patient in a sense, it He will swing strikes and be a little bit patient enough. He'll draw a walk too.
Napoli lays off the high fastball. 2-1 the count. 18 home runs, 47 RBIs for Napoli. Our great stat man BI tells us that the Texas Rangers are 14 for 21 with runners in scoring position in this series. Wow. That is actually kind of cartoon numbers.
It's scary.
Wow.
We know BI is the best of them.
Oh, yeah. He added that all up by himself just in the last 30 seconds.
That was a good changeup. A very good changeup from Rich Harden.
So 2-2 to Napoli. Hamilton at third, Young at second, Cruz at first. Infield double play depth, outfield playing straight away. Just off the plate. Didn't miss by much. Full count.
Well, Tommy Cam, as the black extends to the white line, it was just a little bit off the plate.
Mitch Moreland, the left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. 26 pitches thrown by Harden here in the first. Low, he walked it. That'll get Hamilton home, and it's 2-0.
Well, unfortunately, that was a fastball, a good velocity, but Rich was overthrowing the fastball.
So Napoli gets his 48th RBI. And not a good start to this ball game.
A 1-2 count on Ian Kinsler with two very good pitches for strikes, and then he hit him. A hit and run with the ball to right field, and since then, single walk, single walk.
Batting in the seventh position, first baseman.
So here's Moreland.
Mitch Moreland.
So damage control time for Rich Harden. Moreland is 2 for 8 in this series. He scored a couple of runs, hitting in the 7th spot. Moreland, 13 home runs on the year. First pitch off speed in for a strike. Harden would like is a nice hard hit ground ball right to Jamal Weeks. So 0-2 to Moreland. Torrey Alba is the on deck hitter. Young, Cruz, Napoli are the runners, third to first. Fastball that Moreland had a good swing at, fouled it straight back.
Thirty pitches already.
And only one out. So here's another 0-2 pitch. That one's driven to center. Criff goes back. He's got it. Michael Young will tag. He will score. Cruz will tag and go from second to third. So a sacrifice fly for Mitch Moreland, and the Rangers lead 3-0. RBI number 38 for Moreland.
Batting in the eighth position, designated hitter, number 8.
Well, Matt Harrison was on the mound for the Rangers when it rained and had a 7-0 lead. Third, fourth inning. Rained the game out. He didn't get the win. It's not going to rain today.
No, I don't think so.
You got to probably have to play 9 today.
I think we're going to get the full 9 in today. Although there were a couple games actually rained out today. The Rays and the Yankees were rained out. And the Nationals and the Phillies were rained out. So a couple of East Coast rainouts. It's also raining in Cleveland. That game got started, the Indians and the Twins, but it's the Indians with a 1-0 lead, but in the third inning it started raining. So I guess they're getting weather issues in that part of the country. Not here, not a cloud in the sky. 1-1 to your Torrealba. Torrealba, certainly not the big name in the Rangers lineup, but he may be their hottest hitter. He's got an 11-game hitting streak. During that streak, he's 19 for 45.
I think that Ron Washington is able to do is catch Napoli or Torrealba, DH the other, as both are swinging the bats very well. And that is the case today, where it is Torrealba after catching the first 2 games. He is the DH. Mike Napoli doing the catching. Sometimes I think Napoli got a little criticized when he caught for the Angels because Jeff Mathis was a better catcher as far as the numbers. Napoli's done a very good job for Ron Washington.
Seems like the Rangers have been fairly happy with Napoli's catching.
Exactly.
3-2. Napoli goes, and that one is fisted foul up over the Rangers dugout. You know, I've wondered about that. You think that Mike Scioscia demands a lot from his catchers? Do you think that affected Napoli a little bit?
I think it affects whoever catches, because it's you know, you have a former catcher and a great one that Mike Scioscia was, and
that's not a criticism of Scioscia, but
absolutely not.
He is very demanding from that position. Kurt Suzuki flips the mask, coming back, shading his eyes. He's got it, side retired. 3 runs for the Texas Rangers. We go to the bottom of the first. 3-0. Lineup coming to bat here in the bottom of the first. Weeks, Chris Matsui, Willingham, Sizemore, DeJesus, Suzuki, Allen, and Pennington.
Well, Matt Harrison also already with a 3-0 lead. He has faced the Athletics actually 3 times this year. 1 was rained out. The other 2 starts, a win and a loss. The loss came here against the A's at their home park. Can the magic happen again today?
The A's facing the left-hander. Strike to Jamal Weeks, who's hitting .292 with no home runs and 21 runs batted in. Big day yesterday for Weeks. A single, a double, and a triple.
Now the bad news, a triple in the first inning. First batter, nobody out.
stood at third, and he was left at third base.
Hey, may have been the turning point in the game.
No doubt. No doubt.
I
Trevor
mean,
Cahill was perfect. No hitter early. But when you have 3 chances, second, third, fourth batters coming up, you don't drive him in. Yeah, that's a very big turning point.
On the ground to the shortstop. Andrus is right there. Weeks is retired for out number 1. See how the A's line up defensively. Or the Rangers line up defensively, excuse me. Murphy in left, Hamilton in center, Cruz in right. Young, Andrus, Kinsler, Moreland on the infield, and Napoli is the catcher. Beautiful day at the ballpark. See the hats? Atleticos. A's Fiesta Day at the Coliseum. So if you hauled out your Kurt Suzuki gold jersey from a couple weeks ago, and now the hat, you could be sporting a pretty good looking uni. Heavy on the gold. There's the lid. I like it.
Autographed by Giovanni Gonzalez. Known as G.
Coco Crisp drives one to left field. But Murphy's going to get back there, and he reaches up and makes the catch. 2 outs here in the first.
Batting in third position.
And here comes Hideki Matsui.
Number 55, Hideki Matsui.
Matsui fans, as always, there was a significant amount of effort put into that hat, so they deserve credit for that. You may be walking around with a heavy head all day, but it's a good effort.
Actually, yesterday, a very nice meet and greet with people who got the gold ticket
Yeah.
and the bobblehead. And there were 2 fans from actually Japan who got the bobblehead with a gold ticket, came in and said, "Oh, we watch you in Comcast all the time in Japan." I said, "Now you watch Matsui. That's why you're watching it." But they were very happy to come to an A's game yesterday and see firsthand the Matsui Land sign that prominently displayed when Hideki comes up to the plate.
Well, it was nice to see you relaxing yesterday.
Got a chance to
Enjoying your day.
listen to you. And
Yeah. Now that scares me a little bit.
the Fiesta.
Swing and a miss. Matsui strikes out, so it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Matt Harrison. 3-0 after 1. 3-0 Texas. 3 runs on a couple of hits. A couple of walks, a hit batter. So Rich Harden, long and strenuous top of the first inning. He threw 38 pitches.
Matt Harrison threw 11.
Yeah, so he desperately needs a quick inning as he faces Murphy. First pitch swing and a miss. Murphy, Kinsler, and Andrus. Murphy's first time in the lineup in this series. Murphy goes around on a pitch in the dirt.
Guy's kind of swinging like to see on a changeup that's not a strike. And Murphy a little bit anxious, excited once he saw a pitch that looked like it was going to be in the strike zone, but clearly bounced in the dirt.
Fastball runs high. So 2-2 the count. Murphy 249 with 5 homers, 22 runs batted in. So Harden again runs the count full. Not sharp with his command in the early going.
Nine batters, 4th, 3-ball count, 3-2. 3-2 to Toyama. Same to Young. Napoli. It's not good. That's how you end up throwing 38 pitches in the first inning.
And hope to get through 5, right?
Yeah.
That one, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Here's our Ford right choice. Happened yesterday. Our boss, Comcast Sportsnet GM Ted Griggs. There's Ted. And he's throwing out the first pitch to Ray Fosse. And my partner has said many times he wanted to pitch high, and Ted threw it low.
Well, he's got to throw low. He did a good job of making sure that
He blocked it.
No, he wants to make sure that if you elevate pitches, you're going to get hit. So he's taught to keep the ball down. So a very good pitch thrown by Ted Griggs, and fortunately able to catch it.
I thought I thought the form was pretty good.
Well, considering that's as slow as I could get.
That's what I'm saying. But
very,
thought you dropped your glove now.
Yeah. Well, some habits you just never break. You know, you turn the mitt the proper way. Don't want to try to backhand low pitches.
Well, I talked to Ted last night, and he said, I really did want to throw a high pitch, take care of Ray. He said, but it was low. He said, but I think if a hitter would have been in the box, he said, I think they would have swung
it.
Yeah,
it would have swung at it. Yeah, because it was
got a ground rolled over on it. Got a ground ball.
Yeah, no, I thought he did a great job keeping it down low. He probably has watched some of the hitters and
watched the form.
Got it.
That's pretty good.
Like I said, it was not going to get down in the real catch position. I would never have gotten it. Ted was decked out in his A's cap, A's jersey. They've been practicing for a couple of weeks. Had his arm in shape.
Well, Ted had his Burt Campaneris jersey on, and Ted will be the first to tell you that is his favorite player, Burt Campaneris. 3-2 to Kinsler. Big chopper towards short. So 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. So Elvis Andrus will hit. So Harden 1 out away from the much needed 3 up, 3 down inning.
A 3 up and 3 down inning without going 3-2 on all 3 batters. First 2 he has, but he's gotten outs, strikeout, and a ground ball.
one down the third base line, and it's fair. Just fair. It'll rattle around in the corner. And Andrus has a double. It's the 7th double in this series for the Rangers. For Andrus, his 18th double of the season. Texas has not hit a home run in this series.
Well, Andrus, he's a very good hitter because anything off speed, he'll pull fastballs. He'll go to right field, as he did in the first inning. Got a fastball on a hit and run, lined out to DeJesus. But anytime the A's have thrown him off speed, pretty good bat control, and he's been able to get out in front and pull the ball. Now, this is a situation right here that you have to be aware of. A ground ball that's hit, maybe in the hole, an off-balance throw, or a throw to first base trying to get the runner, because Andrus will not stop at third. He has scored many times on ground ball base hits on the infield, that throw to go on first base, and he just keeps running. Helped him in the playoffs last year, and they've continued that aggressiveness this season.
Well, they won a game just like a week ago doing that with Hamilton at bat.
Get a ball on the hole to short, through to first, and as a first baseman, you sometimes have to go after the ball if you don't have a chance to get the runner at first, because Andrus will keep going. Dave Anderson, third base coach, keeps him going.
Outside corner strike. 0-2 to Hamilton. Singleton scored in the first inning. Shoots that one foul. So no home runs for the Rangers in this series. The third most home runs in the American League. A's do not have a home run in the series either. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there by Harden. He gets his second strikeout. A runner left for the Rangers. We go to the bottom of the second, 3-0 Texas.
Cancer survivors will participate in the on-field ceremony, and with all proceeds going to cancer research. 10,000 fans will receive an A's pink Argyle scarf. Today is presented by Big O Tires and is sponsored by Ross, Altabates Bay Area News Group, Comerica, Good Neighbor Pharmacy, and State Roofing Systems. For more information, go to oaklandathletics.com/BCA. /B/C/A.
Yeah.
But I meant if maybe just put the BCA in and it would work.
Not like the BCS.
And then football had somehow a lot of controversy about the BCS too, right?
Yeah, and there should be.
It'd be like playing 162 games in a baseball season and then having some people decide who they think should make the postseason.
That's not good. That's what it's all about, huh? No wonder it's not any good.
Sort of the way it's. Have a bunch of writers decide who the matchups would be. A little high to Willingham, who will be followed by Sizemore and DeJesus. There were some changes in the A's lineup. Connor Jackson was originally in the lineup, but I believe it was a little bit of a stiff neck.
Yeah.
So he was taken out, and he slid a few things around. Brandon Allen is in the lineup. Called strike 3 on Willingham. He thought it was inside.
And Napoli moves inside late, and the pitch is on the inside corner, and that's John Trapana, who is the home plate umpire.
Number 29.
Like that hand the plate. Tommy Cam proving it.
Here's Sizemore, who I believe was originally hitting in the 9th spot, I think. And then when Connor Jackson was taken out of the lineup, Sizemore slid all the way up to the 5 spot.
1, 2, 3. You got 4 whiteouts.
I know. That's because I put my lineup in much earlier than you do. I just don't learn.
Yeah.
I should learn from my partner.
Well, Brandon Allen getting a chance today. He'll go against the hard-throwing left-hander after his first game yesterday for the Athletics. Coming over from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Hard breaking ball, and Sizemore strikes out on the tag. So 2 outs. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Harrison.
Right over the top, and ball ended up in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Mike Napoli for the strikeout and tag him out. And I like that reference to tag, as you worked with tag yesterday.
Yeah, it was fun.
Network game, and
he's a nice man.
Yes, Tom Grieve is one of the best.
I missed you a little bit, but
well,
you had obligations.
I'm just sure you didn't call him tag, which
no,
I'm glad.
I did not. He was Tom to me.
He is Tom Grieve, and forget about the TAG.
Yeah, he's a good man. We like Tom a lot. Good announcer.
17th season of the broadcasting of the Rangers, and was general manager of the Rangers, an excellent player back in my era.
We gotta look back sometime and check out his trade record. See how many trades Tom made as the GM of the
Trader
Rangers.
Tom.
And see if they were any good or not.
Got Trader Jack now with the Marlins. Trader Tom.
Ask Tom. Tom, what were you thinking on that trade? How long was he GM? A couple years?
Something like that. All I know is that when he was broadcasting and his son Ben played for the A's, I don't think he ever said a word.
Yeah, well, that ain't easy.
It's understandable that his son's. You figure if your son is playing for the team which you're broadcasting against, you want him to do well, but you can't say it because you want the team you're broadcasting for to do well. But Ben played well against the Rangers, especially in his home park or their home city where he grew up in Arlington. Love that short porch in right field, that jet stream. Great left-handed swing by the Rookie of the Year for the Athletics, Ben Grieve.
Jesus with the 2-out walk. I always think of, and there's other examples, but remember Glenn Hoffman, who was the third base coach for, I believe, the Dodgers. I think he was the manager for the Dodgers for a while. I always thought about what it would be like. You're sitting there, and your brother is trying to close the game for the Padres against your team.
Well, we had
Hoffman, his brother, and I mean, there's a lot of other examples of that.
Well, we had one here with Justin Spire pitching. His father.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, to sit in the dugout, Chris Spire sitting saying, "Come on, son, wait a minute, I can't."
Sure.
That's the team I'm working for.
Or how about, remember Carney Lansford when he was the hitting coach for the Giants in spring training? His son, who pitches for the A's, came into a game in spring training for the A's to pitch against the Giants, and the story I was told is that Carney went out in the parking lot.
He did.
He said, "I can't watch."
No.
So now you're a hitting coach. You're pulling for your guys, but your guys are batting against your son. Carney said, "I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm going to go relax."
Yeah. How do we hit against your son? I'm not going to tell you.
But that's your job. You're my hitting coach. Kurt Suzuki hitting .230 with 10 home runs on the season.
Buddy Bell might have managed when his son David was playing
Somewhere, yeah.
So there's been a lot of cases where you've seen the former major league players, some capacity in the coaching. Jason Kendall, Freddie Kendall, Tommy.
Kurt gets jammed. Well, the big story in baseball, of course, Dan Uggla, who has a 33-game hitting streak coming into today. But it's in jeopardy, folks, because Uggla does not have a hit. He's 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly, and that game has 1 out in the 9th inning. And the Braves are losing 6-5, but Uggla is not anywhere near the on-deck circle. I believe he's like 5 batters away to get an at-bat against Carlos Marmol, the closer for the Cubs. So,
well, that's not a good guy to hit against anyway.
He's about as nasty as they get. So
if you get a hit against him, you might break Joe DiMaggio's record.
Yeah.
Marmol is great.
So we'll let you know if he does get an at-bat in that game, but it certainly does not look like it. 33 games for Dan Uggla. Three and 2 to Suzuki with 2 outs. So DeJesus, the runner at first, will be off with the pitch. Shallow right center. Hamilton coming in. He's got it side retired. 2-out walk to DeJesus, nothing else. We're through 2 at the Coliseum. 3-0 Texas. Ace Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cash Creek's Money Tree. Win $500 cash every hour from noon till 11 p.m. Visit cashcreek.com for details.
You're talking about Dan Uggla with a 33-game hit streak. It was against the Braves, the 44-game streak that Rose was in it because Gene Garber was pitching for the Braves.
That's right. Ended at 44.
And it might have been in Atlanta.
It was. I remember watching it. They think that Gene Garber tried a little too hard, wasn't that?
Yeah, throw a 3-2 changeup. You can't do that. 3-2. He's got to throw a fastball. You got a 44-game hit streak on the line. No, I'm trying to win a game.
Too bad.
And I think I can get you out by throwing a change. And he did.
And he did. Michael Young to lead it off. He walked and scored in that first inning. He'll be followed by Cruz and Napoli. Texas scored 3 times in the first on a couple of singles, a couple of walks, a hit batter, sacrifice fly, bases loaded walk. Outside corner strike, 1-2 the count.
I want to say about 06 when Rich Harden never forget the game he started after the All-Star break.
Almost had back-to-back no-hitters here, remember?
But Rich has pitched well against the Rangers throughout his career. That's why it was hard to watch the first inning to see the Rangers get on the board in the first inning.
Two pitches rolled back to Harden. Guns it to first. Michael Young is out. One out. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. Here it is, Ray. July 14, 2005.
This is the year.
2-hit complete game versus the Rangers here at the Coliseum for Rich Harden. He was 5 outs away from a perfect game. Remember, Alfonso Soriano hit one off the end of the bat. Have a broken bat. A soft line drive, and that was in the 8th inning. So he took a no-hitter into the 8th, got 1 out.
That's a line for you there.
That is pretty good.
81 pitches. Wow. 211. Ken Maka, then manager, said he wanted to throw one of the hardest throwers against whatever team the A's faced after the All-Star break, because you figured 3 days off, they're going to be a little bit off in their timing. And Rich still remembers it. And you're right. You were talking, I think,
the next night, Zito
had a no-hitter.
Yeah,
midway through. A different style pitching than Rich Harden, but still very effective.
That game is over, Ray. The Cubs beat the Braves 6-5, and Uggla did not get a final at bat. So his hitting streak comes to an end at 33 games. He was 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly in the game.
Well, he'll have one more press conference, and then they'll go on to the rest of his season.
So 33 games is where it stops. He is just the 23rd player in Major League Baseball history with a hitting streak of 33 games or longer. So I say if only 22 other people have done something in Major League Baseball history, that's pretty darn good. Just a bit low to Mike Napoli. Napoli had that bases loaded walk in the first inning to pick up his 48th RBI.
Kurt Suzuki visiting with Rich Harden. He just made his 68th pitch, and we are in the 3rd inning. 38-19, 38 in the first, 19 in the second. 4-pitch walk to Cruz, 2-0 to Napoli, and these guys are patient.
Big swing by Napoli, 2-1.
So you got a nice 4-seam fastball. 2-0. They look for good pitches to hit. Napoli just opened up a little bit. No contact.
That one runs inside. So the count now 3-1 to Napoli with Moreland in the on-deck circle.
Actually, the trade to the Rangers via Toronto actually has worked out very nicely for Mike Napoli. I was talking to him in Arlington. He said Ron Washington really helps him as far as when he plays, when he's not playing, and communication, and especially as a catcher, and probably a lot happier than being in Toronto.
Yeah.
Nicer weather. Don't have to play on the turf. JP Arencibia is probably very happy as well as a young man. 19 home runs at least through the A series. Don't know what he did against the Angels this weekend, but very good catch for the Blue Jays.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Suzuki's throw is high into center field. Cruz will stay at second base, so it's a strikeout and a stolen base. And I think if Kurt makes a good throw there, they have a shot at Cruz.
Well, Cruz was not running to steal second. He does get the stolen base, but this was a matter of just thinking that Knapp was going to put the ball in play. And the accuracy as far as on the bag was okay, but it was too high, and Jamal Weeks had to go up, did knock it down, then fell down on top of Cruz, so he could not advance to third. But definitely a throw that if it's close to the bag, it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out.
So that's the third strikeout for Harden. Runner at second, 2 outs for Mitch Moreland, who had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Outside corner strike. Fastball gets in on Moreland, pops it up shallow left. Pennington stays with it. He's got it side retired. We go to the bottom of the third. It'll be Allen, Pennington, and Weeks. 3-0 Texas. Sports at California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dinner Roaring Camp style is sizzling steaks, moonlight steam train ride, and singing around the campfire. RoaringCamp.com. The Rangers with a 3-0 lead. It is the bottom of the third from the O.co Coliseum.
And that's a very important statement you just said. Bottom of the third. A lot of baseball left. This game's dragging along, but the A's still 7 at bats basically. Bottom of the third as we are in right now, and 3 runs, not a difficult number to overtake. Put some runners on the board and try to do something though against a very tough lefty.
Brandon Allen to lead it off.
And just as important for Rich Harden and the A's pitchers, whoever might be in, keep the Rangers from scoring anymore.
Pitch is a strike to Brandon Allen. Sounded like a broken bat, but he'll take it as it drops into center field for a leadoff single. That's the first hit for the A's against Matt Harrison.
Did a very good job taking the first 3 pitches out of the strike zone. And then the 3-1 fastball stayed inside nicely. Like the young man has an idea at the plate, especially against the lefty. Did not open up against Matt Harrison. Ultra mode. Good swing, good follow through.
So Cliff Pennington steps in. Pennington hitting from the right side. 298 hitter from the right side, 242 from the left side this year. Sogard was in the lineup yesterday, so Pennington getting the day off. He was 1 for 3 on Friday night. The Mariners with a 3-0 lead over the Boston Red Sox. That game in the 4th inning up in Seattle. Tim Wakefield pitching for the Red Sox in that game. He's trying to win his 200th career game.
Again,
Yeah,
and again, and again.
This is the 4th try at 200 wins for Wakefield, but right now he is trailing 3-0 in the 4th inning. Charlie Furbush, the starter for Seattle in the rubber game of that series.
A's made him look like Cy Young. I don't want him to pitch 5 strong innings.
Drive to center, hit pretty well. Hamilton going back. Now he's going to get there over the shoulder. Makes the catch. So 1 out here in the 3rd. Well, A's fans, do you have a question for A's post-game analyst, Shooty Babbitt? Tweet your question to @CSN Athletics with the hashtag Shootyism, and it'll answer your questions from now until the end of today's game. Shootyism. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for A's baseball all season long.
What's a shootyism?
Well, it's something that only Shooty says. Shootyism.
Maybe we'll have to ask.
And there's a few of those out there. My favorite Shootyism is don't hate, congratulate. I love that one.
That is a good one.
He dropped that on me for some reason earlier this year. I said, that's a good one. Don't hate, congratulate.
That's a shootyism.
That's a Shootyism.
Probably trademarked
There
that.
you go. I think we were talking about maybe another team doing well or something. And he said, hey, don't hate, congratulate. So you may get a Shootyism during A's post-game live after the game.
Oh, we got him thinking about it now.
3-0 to Jemiah Weeks, who grounded out to short in the 1st inning.
Well, 3-0 to Allen. Got base hit on the 3-1. 3-0 now to Weeks. Harrison's had 4 3-ball counts, 2 3-2s, 3-1. So that gets his pitch count up as well. Rich Harden, after 3 innings, is way up with his pitch count.
Coco Crisp will hit next. There's a shot to right, and that's a base hit. Brandon Allen to second, and the A's have something going against Harrison here in the 3rd.
A couple hitters staying back and staying inside the ball. Allen to left field, and Jemiah Weeks hit it from the right side. Got a fastball, did not try to jump on it, just saw the big hole on the right side, and there it is. A solid base hit in that direction. Cruz playing shallow in right field, but nice swing by Jemiah Weeks, who continues to impress at the plate from the left side to the right side.
So Coco Crisp with a chance to knock in a run.
Coco just missed one in the 1st inning, 1st at bat. But having not played and not a lot of batting practice for him, just trying to make sure his running is good.
Coco's been out a week. It was last Saturday. Still leading the American League in stolen bases with 37 is Coco Crisp.
Yesterday, and of course, ever since Bob Melvin has arrived, and A's not take batting practice on the field, they'll have them take infield just to familiarize themselves, even though they're at home. But yesterday, not only did they take infield, but Coco Crisp was at home plate running just to see how the calf felt. And that was at a time when the gates were open. It's 12 or so.
Yeah, it was close to game time.
Yeah, they're out doing the work, and fans got a chance to see some of the things that normally they do not see. If you're not here for batting practice, and most clubs do not take infield anymore, but I think it's a good idea. Bob Melvin at least forces the players to come out on the field, even though they're not taking BP. And that's usually when they get all their work infield practice, and as a result did not take the traditional infield practice prior to the ball game.
One and one the count to Crisp. There's a strike. Right fielder Nelson Cruz fairly shallow. Hamilton shallow in center, but Murphy, the left fielder, is really not that shallow at all. Which sort of makes sense because Coco does have pretty good pull power right-handed. Setting up outside, and that pitch hit the spot just about perfect, but pitch called the ball. 2-2.
Josh Hamilton has already made a good play today playing center field as Napoli set up outside and tries to bring it back over the corner, but umpire, watch you bring it back. You can't do that. Umpire should see the ball when it crosses the plate, not the catcher moving in the mitt. You saw Hamilton make the great play in left field yesterday, going back to warning track and diving. He's already done it in center field today. So they can play shallow if they go back on the ball, and Josh Hamilton has proven he can do that very easily.
Well, Coco steps back in. The meeting at the mound is over. Coco bounces one foul off up over the tarp into the first row. In the area of the Matsui fan club. There's a couple of Matsui fan clubs around the ballpark. A full count. Hideki Matsui in the on-deck circle. Runners go. Ball's bounced slowly towards short. Andrus guns it across, and the throw pulls the first baseman Moreland off the bag. Everybody's safe, and the A's have the bases loaded.
Well, Mike Maddox out immediately to talk to his pitcher. That Coco Crisp, when you have speed, it really changes the thinking of an infielder. Elvis Andrus caught the ball in the same motion, tried to throw out Coco, who obviously is running very well down the line from the right side. Kind of got a running stop out of the batter's box, start out of the batter's box, but Andrus got it, and Moreland a good job coming off the bag, but it meant Coco is going to be safe. Otherwise, a couple of runs would have scored the ball in foul territory. But that is a speed, or if just the hitter runs hard.
Well, that's a lot of errors. 23 by a guy who's a pretty good shortstop, but that's an inordinate amount of errors for him, I think.
Well, Ron Washington has talked about him, that he can make the spectacular plays. It's a routine. I wouldn't say that was necessarily routine because he had to hurry his throw as much as he did. But a talented young man, Elvis Andrus.
So here's Matsui. A great chance for the A's to get back in this game, trailing 3-0.
Well, speed on the bases, too. So any ball in the gap, the A's could tie it with one swing from Matsui, who has been outstanding for the A's in these run-scoring situations.
Matsui struck out swinging in the first inning. Check swing, dribbler out in front, but it's a foul ball. Hit Matsui.
Well, watch Coco when he swings the bat. He's kind of running out of the starter block, and I'd say yes, Coco is running nicely. He's running very well. That's good to see. And take enough time instead of trying to rush a guy back. Enables him to be able to run without any hesitation, any thought about re-injuring, in this case, his calf.
So 0-1 to Hideki Matsui. Drives him to shallow left center. Hamilton coming in. Allen's tagging, and Allen is going to come down the line and then go back. Probably a smart idea, as Hamilton made a terrific throw to Napoli on the fly. And if Brandon Allen tries it, he's out by 10 feet. So that's 2 outs.
Now batting.
Hamilton charged the ball, cutting in front of the left fielder Murphy, and definitely showing off his strong arm, but his momentum carried him into shallow left center, which the only hope here was it overthrow his catcher, but pitcher Harrison was backing up. Hamilton playing left field flawlessly, now moving to center. And Chavez has been playing there the first couple of games. So now the A's have to do it with 2 outs.
First pitch to Willingham. Off-speed pitch stays outside. Willingham struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Allen at 3rd, Weeks at 2nd, Crisp at 1st. So terrific speed on the bases. Swing and a miss. Good hard slider from Harrison. Outfield plays Hamilton. Hamilton playing Willingham to pull a little bit, about 4 or 5 steps toward left center field.
So far in this game, Harrison, as we noted, is able to throw the fastball 95 to 97 miles per hour. So the slot that you mentioned at 85 to Willingham, and came back with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So at a time when a hitter or pitcher needs to get a little bit extra, hold a little reserve, this is the time he's looking at.
Willingham checks his swing, and he went around. On the check, Ted Barrett says he went. So the A's miss an opportunity. They had the bases loaded and 1 out, but cannot get him home.
Josh Willingham thought he had held up. Ted Barrett said no.
Bay Area's biggest sports staff now brings you Sportsnet Central updates each night on NBC Bay Area News at 6 and 11. Comcast Sportsnet and NBC Bay Area working together to bring you the best in local sports. Ace Fiesta Day at the park. I'm telling you, it's a festive atmosphere. How can it not be?
Just listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pitch number 75 coming up for Rich Harden. The 4th inning.
And that pitch is lined to left for a base hit. Torrealba extends his hitting streak. It is now a 12-gamer. And it's a leadoff single here in the 4th. 3-0 Texas leads.
Well, first pitch hitting. And if you have a hitting streak, you see a fastball early in the count, you're not going to wait around.
So here's Murphy, the 9th place hitter. That's the 4th hit for Texas against Harden. Well, the Rangers will board the plane and head to Anaheim after the game, and that is a big series, folks, starting tomorrow night in Anaheim. 4 games between the Angels and the Rangers.
Well, the Rangers win today. It's a 4-game lead, which very helpful for the Rangers club.
We'll keep an eye on that series just from a baseball fan standpoint. That'll be a good one to watch. That's high, and it's 3-0. It'll be 4 night games down there. To Murphy, who struck out looking in the 2nd inning. And now, pretty good start to the 4th inning.
Well, with the pitchers being up in the zone, have to question whether Rich Harden, who really pitched the fantastic game in Toronto, and he was pitching with an extra day's rest. He was pitching on his 7th day, and now back in normal turn.
Well, he's walked 4, struck out 3, and hit a batter, so he has not been sharp today. The new Athletics. Bruce Billings, a right-handed reliever.
Now batting, number 5.
Acquired in the Mark Ellis trade with the Rockies a little bit ago. Was called up yesterday.
If he has an L in front of the word reliever, then he'll be getting ready. Called long.
So Billings and Brandon Allen were called up yesterday. Adam Rosales sent down. Kinsler a bunt. It's a good one, and Harden's going to have to take a bite out of it. Everybody's safe. But Kinsler made a perfect bunt.
Another surprise, because the reaction time by Rich Harden, who was there, Sizemore was coming in, but neither one's going to be able to make the play. A perfect bunt by Kinsler. That was after a 4-pitch walk, actually 5 pitches thrown in the inning before Kinsler decided to bunt.
So Billings gets up. There's Andrus. Swing and a miss. So the A's set Rosales down, and Jordan Norberto, the left-handed pitcher, got sent down. Double and a fly ball to right field for Andrus. Good pitch, a fastball on the outside corner, so it's a quick 0-2. Josh Hamilton is in the on-deck circle. Andrus was after that splitter and just gets a piece of it.
Let's hope that Rich Harden was looking for a challenge in this half inning. Load the bases, nobody out. That's a challenge.
.83 pitches now for Harden. That time Harden went upstairs, and Elvis Andrus fouled that one back. A single, a walk, and a single have loaded the bases for the Rangers here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big out there.
One part of the challenge accomplished. Sanders, who made contact as often as he does, he's tough to strike out. And change up, it was high and fooled Andrus enough that he was way out in front of the pitch. And no, it was not a strike. The umpire could say you swung at it, so that's a strike. But if you had taken it, probably would not have been.
So here's the bigger challenge. Josh Hamilton takes a big rip at the first pitch, fouls it back. Hamilton singled and scored in the first, struck out swinging in the second. Three for 11 in the series is Hamilton. He's got an RBI, and he has scored 3 runs. Foul territory. Sizemore's there. 2 outs. Good pitch by Harden to get in on the hands big time of Hamilton.
Challenge number 2 accomplished.
Yeah.
So can he do it? Even tougher batter and Michael Young, but Rich Harden, well, seems to thrive on these situations. Good fastball up, and Hamilton, the 0-1 count, no stride, brought the hands in, but uppercut, and that kept the ball without going really very long distance, and Sizemore was able to handle it.
So
Not let down against a very tough hitter. Sure he won't.
and that is Michael Young, and the first pitch is high to Young, who has walked and scored and then bounced back to the pitcher. Young in this series is 3 for 10 with a couple of RBIs and a couple of runs scored. Young goes around 1-1. One and 2, so he jumps ahead. Torrealba at third, Murphy at second, Kinsler at first. It's been a battle today for Rich Harden. Getting out of this jam could give the A's a little momentum. One-two pitch is off the plate, 2-2.
Well, the Michael Young, he just finds a way, even a pitch that's close enough to foul it off. He has a kind of a straight up stance, but opens up, but that enables him to hit the ball the opposite field so well.
And that's low and away. 3-2. So the runners, all 3 of them, will be taken off with the pitch.
Same count they had against Laurie in Toronto in his last start. 3-2. I was first and third, so a walk wouldn't have hurt him as badly as this would, but he threw the changeup down the middle, and that's ideally what Rich wants to throw. If he throws the changeup towards the middle, make it look like it's a strike and get the movement.
Runners go. Here's the pitch, and it was kind of a hanger, and Young fouled it back. Didn't have that strong downward movement that you want that pitch from Harden to do. It just floated up there.
Now, Rich throws the changeup, and there are times he can throw it to look like a slider breaking away from the right-handers, but again, he wants the downward movement, and make it look like a strike, maybe even down around the knees to get him to chase it.
Another 3-2, and it's down and away, and give Michael Young credit. That's pretty good at bat. It's a bases loaded walk. Torrealba scores. It's 4-0. I think the majority of hitters in baseball, if you put them all together, more than half would have swung at that pitch.
But that one broke away from him. And again, the one that goes straight down is the one that's most difficult to lay off. But Michael Young's exceptional hitter. He takes the close pitches. He does not swing at a lot of the bad ones.
So that is his 80th RBI of the season. And here's Cruz. Cruz takes a fastball right there for a strike. Cruz a single and a walk. He's also got a stolen base in this game. He's 3 for 8 in the series. Cruz a very streaky hitter. I mean, he'll go a 2-week stretch where he'll drive in 12-15 runs, and then he'll go quiet for a while. It's just the way he is. Overall, the number's good. 25 homers, 75 RBIs. Chokes up quite a bit on the bat. I always thought with Nelson Cruz, if he could, it's like he pulls off sometimes, tries to hit home runs. When he doesn't do that, he's a pretty good hitter. Harden has it, guns it to first. Allen makes the catch. Side retired. A run on the bases loaded walk for the Rangers. They lead 4-0.
Heritage Night presented by Cache Creek Casino Resorts. By purchasing a ticket for this event, you'll receive a seat in the Filipino Heritage section, an A's Go t-shirt, and a traditional food item served, and the West Side Club. For tickets, visit oaklandathletics.com/Filipino. And I would have to say, if there's a specialty item, there's one guy that will make sure that it's good, and that's Chef Rodney.
Yeah.
Chef Rodney yesterday made an appearance at a nice suite on the bobblehead day, and he came up, said hello. They have a nice cheeseburger, a good one.
Sounds good to me.
Like it.
Give him a call. Here's our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. What player holds the Rangers record for the longest hitting streak? Rangers have been around since 1972. So, Ray, you saw some of their first teams, and they always had some pretty good hitters, didn't they?
He did. broadcast when they had, of course, Pudge Rodriguez. It always did a very good job. Juan Gonzalez.
One attempt by Scott Sizemore.
I have one guy, too, we're very fortunate to have that accommodates, and that is Matthew Brain, the police department. They brought up the pizzas again yesterday.
I love that guy.
And he also brought up a dessert that was unbelievable. It was looked like a pizza, but it had various fruits on it, and like a cream cheese with a crust, nice crust on it. And I've got to give Matthew a call to find out where that came from.
Really? It was that good, huh?
It was great. And that one I had to take. I give you the pizza, but I couldn't share that.
That's a fair deal. It's a fair deal.
Family enjoyed that yesterday, so
I bet. That
bear with
sounds
me.
good.
Hopefully he'll bring another one I can bring into the booth. But that was very nice. So I'm glad you and Tom got a chance to have the pizza.
Oh, yeah. So one out, and David DeJesus steps up.
Well, Friday night, Italian Heritage Night, and Fiesta Day today. So guess who's doing the PA announcing? Dick Callahan, Amari P. Gonzalez. He did the dot race. And also doing the announcement of the players in this inning. Yeah, that dessert was good, man. Still thinking about that.
Is it all gone?
All gone.
Wouldn't mind at least trying it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Matthew, I'm sure, since I'll give him a call and tell him it's so good that maybe he'll be nice enough to bring another.
2 outs on the line drive by DeJesus right into the glove of Elvis Andrus.
I think also Busy Bee Bakery is going to be here Tuesday night.
There they are. Those are the guys that when you're having a nice dinner with your wife in the restaurant, they come over and start playing for you.
Or you can have the Rat Pack that we had Friday night.
Rat Pack Friday night.
Rat Pack guys were here.
So it's been a fun weekend at the Coliseum. Unfortunately, the scoreboard has not been kind to the A's, but doesn't mean the fans that come out cannot have a good time.
That's what's great about baseball. You want to come out, you want to go home a winner. You say, yeah, the club won, had a good day, but bottom line, a beautiful day like today, how could you not go home happy? Playwood has the field looking great considering what happened here Thursday night. Even C.J. Wilson, I'm sure, is looking out and saying, what a beautiful place.
Sure he is.
Plays the best, I tell you, considering what he has to go through to convert the field from football back to baseball in a short amount of time. Exceptional job this time.
Bounce to third. Michael Young has it. Harrison, after getting out of the jam in the third inning, has a 3-up, 3-out fourth inning. 4-0 Texas. Here's our AT&T trivia answer. What player holds the Rangers record for the longest hitting streak? Gabe Kapler went for 28 games back in 2000. Would not have thought of Gabe Kapler?
Nope.
That's a pretty lengthy hitting streak. 4-0. The Rangers lead the A's. It is the top of the 5th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. As Bruce Billings comes in, his first appearance for the Athletics. The right-hander, Bruce Billings, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's 25 years old. Those are the minor league numbers. Colorado Springs, the AAA affiliate for the Rockies.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning for Texas, number 25.
Billings did appear in 1 game this year for the Rockies, just 1.
Well, if you're pitching in Colorado, you know one thing: this ball carries.
Yep.
So 6 wins pitching for Colorado Springs. That's pretty impressive.
So Billings' first pitch to Mike Napoli is high. He'll face Napoli, Moreland, and Torrealba. Born in San Diego. Went to San Diego State University. He's got a no-hitter on his resume for Asheville, 2008. Two and 1 the count to Napoli, who had a bases loaded walk in the first inning and then a strikeout in the third. That trade was June 30th when Mark Ellis went to the Rockies. There's also a player to be named later involved in that. The A's to receive, along with Bruce Billings. The Rockies will play tonight. They're the national game in St. Louis. 3 rainouts today. We mentioned the Nationals and the Phillies. Roy Halladay was supposed to pitch that game. Halladay was going to try for his 16th win of the year. But that will not happen. Also told you that the Rays and the Yankees got rained out, but that Indians game that did get started in Cleveland ended up being postponed due to rain. So 3 rainouts today.
Athletic Co's cap, holder of popcorn today for the young man. Whatever it takes.
Shot to right field, and that's going to get down and drop just fair. So Napoli is going to have a leadoff double going the other way.
Always like to pitch ahead of the count, and Billings got behind Napoli 2-0 and had a big swing, and then brought his swing down a little bit, but they got the 3-2 fastball. Normally he's swinging hard, but this time just placed it perfectly to right field for a leadoff double.
Eight doubles for the Rangers in this series, and I bring that up because it's what they do. They have the 2nd most doubles in the American League and the 3rd most home runs. It's also surprised statistically about the Rangers offensively. They have struck out the fewest times in the American League. So they hit home runs, but they put the ball in play as well. 3rd in the league in runs scored, behind Yankees and the Red Sox. Pop-up foul. They hit 277 as a team. There's the breakdown. 3rd in runs, 3rd in home runs, and 4th in stolen bases. It's funny that top 3 teams in runs scored are the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rangers. Those are also the top 3 teams in home runs hit. Those are also the top 3 teams in best records in the American League. Pennington into short left field, fights that sun a little bit. He's got it. Moreland is retired for out number 1.
Situational hitting in this particular instance is not something they were able to accomplish. I see a lefty try to pull the ball, but can also compliment the pitcher Billingsley for making a good play, or a good pitch, to the point that Moreland could not pull the ball.
So Torrealba will step in.
I called him Billingsley, and my apologies. There is a Billingsley.
Yes,
I think he's still
is,
pitching, but it is Billings.
Here's Torrealba. Torrealba extended his hitting streak to 12 games in the 4th inning. He lined a single to left field. Coco Crisp comes in, still coming in. He was playing a little bit toward right center. He's got it for out number 2. So David Murphy will hit.
Now batting, number 7, David Murphy.
Murphy a strikeout and a walk so far in the ball game, hitting in the 9th spot. Rich Harden goes 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 98 pitches for Harden. And none of his 4 innings were easy. He had base runners pretty much all over the place.
Well, if the 4th inning was going to be his last, which it was, it'd have been nice if he could have got Michael Young out and gotten out of a bases loaded situation without allowing a run to score, but he did get 2 tough hitters in Andrus and Hamilton before he walked Michael Young. He had a very good at bat.
3-0. So 5 walks, 4 strikeouts for Harden. In fact, the Rangers stranded 7 through the first 4 innings. 4-pitch walk to Murphy will put runners at first and second, 2 outs for the top of the order, Kinsler. So 6 walks now by A's pitchers.
Now batting, number 5, Ian Kinsler.
Kinsler, in his first at bat, was hit by a pitch, and that's how the 3-run top of the first inning got started. He was hit right around the left elbow. Looks like now he's got that left elbow arm area pretty well protected. Pitch is high.
You know, Richard threw a good fastball, a good changeup. Count was 1-2, and tried to go inside, and bang. 4th pitch of the game from Rich Harden. Kinsler and the elbow, and 37 pitches later, Rich was out of the inning, but 38 in the first.
See, now that elbow and really the entire left arm has got a sleeve on it for Kinsler. Maybe a little protection underneath there somewhere.
Well, you hope. It's usually just kind of keep the swelling down a little bit, but try to wear as much protection as possible, especially after getting hit the way he did.
2-0 pitch is popped to right. And DeJesus dropped it. He dropped it, and 2 runs are going to score. He just flat out dropped it. So it's 6-0. So it'll be a simple error.
Well, when you least expect something, and the old assumption in baseball, you just cannot assume it. He's under it and missed it. And credit Murphy, who was running all the way. He did not assume it was going to be caught, and he scored.
Napoli scored before him.
And the ball hit David in the heel of the glove. And instead of being in the dugout, down by 4, the A's are down by 6.
So here's Elvis Andrus. Well, the Rangers scoring a lot and the A's playing poor defense has been really the simple story of the weekend. Andrus is 1 for 3 with a double. Shoots that one. Weeks dives. He's got it. Gets up, throws to first, and they get a nice play by Jamal Weeks to end the inning. 2-base error by DeJesus, and it allows 2 runs to score. California is brought to you by Infineon Raceway. The Indy Grand Prix of Sonoma IZOD IndyCar Series returns to Sonoma August 26th through the 28th. Tickets at InfineonRaceway.com. So some shoddy defense hurts the A's again. And they now lead, or they now trail the Rangers 6-0. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. Brandon Allen to lead it off. And he lines one to right field, a base hit. So Brandon Allen has a couple of line drive base hits.
Well, you know, the young man's going to hit for power, but right now he's throwing a very nice stroke, getting a good couple of hits in his 2 plate appearances today. One to left center and plays nicely, little stride.
Number 2.
Leg lift, gets the foot down, and nice line drive to right field. And we've said that sometimes a left-handed hitter facing a left-handed pitcher will do better just by keeping the front shoulder tucked in. Hideki Matsui, perfect illustration where he has really played well against lefties this season.
First pitch is a bit low to Cliff Pennington. Pennington hit a fly ball to center field in the 3rd inning. Matt Harrison has struck out 4. He has walked 1. And that was pitch number 70. So Matt Harrison is 25 years old. And the Rangers will tell you that starting pitching has been a key for them, and really they are getting very nice seasons from 3 young guys who, quite frankly, I don't know that they were sure about going into this season. And Harrison is one of them. And he's 10-8. He's got a very good ERA, right around 3. And then Alexia Gondo, who put in the rotation as Pennington gets the walk. He's been good. Time now for our Farmers Insurance Report Card. The American League leaders this season in triples. Jamal Weeks.
Now batting, second baseman.
Behind Granderson and Jackson. But he's done it in just 57 games played. So no surprise with his great speed that Weeks is a guy who's going to get a lot of triples.
I thought it was interesting yesterday when he hit this triple in the first inning. All he had to do was coast in the third, yet he slid feet first. No head first. Really didn't need to slide at all, but just rather be safe than sorry.
Pitch to Weeks is a strike. Talking about those young Rangers starters. Mentioned Harrison and Agando, and Derek Holland is 10-4. So there was some uncertainty around their rotation, losing Cliff Lee. Off the plate, big bouncer. Young gets over there quickly to throw out Weeks. Both the runners move up, so the A's will have second and third, and one out.
Get a ball off the plate, you kind of hope the pitcher has to field it because he's not going to have the positioning that the third baseman does. And Michael Young cut behind the mound, and of course with the little sidearm flip to first base gets the speedy Jamal Weeks. Michael Young, second, short, third base, and with Adrian Beltre on the disabled list, he is filling in nicely. It's not surprising at third base. Had they not signed Beltre, he's going to be there anyway.
Beltre's still going to be out for a while. Sounded like Beltre was very close to coming back, but then he maybe pushed it a little bit too hard, that hamstring, and re-aggravated it, and now they figure maybe 2 or 3 more weeks. Having a very fine season his first year with the Rangers. Oh, 1 pitch to Coco Crisp. Swing and a miss.
Well, Beltre's absence is proving, and we have seen it. The Rangers have other parts off the bench. Guys can fill in and do the job. And of course, when he comes back, his numbers are going to be very good in the middle of the lineup. The reason they got him. The Rangers are a dangerous team, no doubt, but especially in their home park.
Coco swings and misses. So Harrison has made big pitches when he's needed to. The A's have had some opportunities to get back in this game. So second and third, one out. Coco strikes out.
Coco swung at 3 pitches at one that might have been in the strike zone. All 3 down low. And upset himself for not at least getting one runner in from third base. And his bases loaded in third. And Matsui popped up. Shallow center field, and now strikeout with runner at second and third.
Matsui takes low. Matsui batted with the bases loaded and one out in the third and hit a shallow fly ball to center field that could not get a run home. Broken bat, charging is Kinsler, and it goes right through his legs, and 2 runs are going to score. How about that?
Now we're even.
Well, the A's gave 2 away, and the Rangers give 2 right back. Kinsler was playing out on the grass, and he had to kind of charge in a little bit and went right between his legs.
And I think that's what cost him. We have seen guys with a shift or playing deep because the hitter might not have enough speed, but Kinsler playing on the outfield grass, charging in, did the ball take a bad hop when it got right to him? Not a bad hop. He just played it poorly. And it really bounced up, but he might have looked up a little bit knowing that Matsui getting down the line, running hard, but clearly a ball that should have been handled and should have been back in the inning, but still should be 4-0. A's shouldn't have given the 2 up in the top half unearned, and now these 2 unearned.
So that's the second error in the game by the Texas Rangers. The first 2 in the series. The A's will take it, so it's now 6-2 with Willingham hitting. One and one the count. Willingham has struck out looking and struck out swinging. So he has not looked comfortable against Matt Harrison. Mariners still leading the Red Sox 5-1 now. That game in the 8th inning. Willingham's, it's like every pitch he's seen today has been right on the outside corner, and they've called it a strike, or on the inside corner. Got him swinging, went with a fastball, so Willingham strikes out for the 3rd time. The A's get a couple of unearned runs. We go to the 6th inning, 6-2 Texas. '14 and under receive a kids exercise mat presented by Washington Hospital. The all-foam mat, an A's green, a great giveaway for your active kids. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
Will that work for adults?
Mat.
No, they're small.
I don't know how big they are, but tape 2 together.
Well, I got a couple of grandkids, 4 and Joseph 5 months.
Those kids exercising?
Yeah. Jack, I'm sure, would like an exercise mat.
Yeah, as opposed to rolling around with his sister on the hardwood floor. I think an exercise mat would be a good thing.
Yeah, especially to save the floors.
6-2. The Rangers leading the Athletics. Has not been the prettiest game. 3 errors. These pitchers have walked 6. Hamilton skies this one to shallow left. Willingham's there. So Josh Hamilton is retired, leading off the 6th inning. Bruce Billings back out there.
Do you see how Josh Willingham caught the fly ball? 2 hands. You know, once you see one of your outfielders drop a ball, you're going to be hovering. You're going to say, okay, 2 hands. You're going to watch the ball. Watch it. Watch it. 2 hands. Attaboy. There you go. Not going to drop this one.
If he had a 3rd hand, he'd be using it there too.
Well, it just shows that these guys are human, and no player likes it. I mean, I admit I put 9 down in my scorebook, just assumed it was going to be caught. Even Ian Kinsler, who hit the ball, assumed it was going to be caught because he stopped it first. Should have been standing at second. But you figure the major league players are not going to do that, and 1,000 times probably would never do it. Maybe one time, 1,000, but things do happen. Saw Jermaine Dye do it here. He's with the White Sox. Fly ball, just routine. Up the A's win a game when he dropped it. And I think it's just a shock when you see it happen. Even Kinsler, when he let the ball go through his legs. You don't see that happen. Routine ground ball.
Take a ground ball. You will occasionally see a guy miss a ground ball, but fly balls or pop-up, you just don't see it hardly ever. Michael Young swings and misses at a breaking ball. So 2 quick outs here for Bruce Billings.
Could you do that against Rich Harden? Nobody on base. Bases loaded against Harden with 2 outs, 3 and 2. This slider, though, thrown by Billings, and Michael Young tried to shoot it to right field.
Big chopper, and it is a foul ball. Off the bag at third. Rangers scored 3 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. He's got their 2 in the bottom of the fifth. Cruz is 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Red Sox have scored a couple of runs to creep a little bit closer. Mariners 5, Red Sox 3, top of the 8th inning. Boston with just a 1-game lead over the Yankees, who were rained out today in the AL East. One and 2 now to Nelson Cruz. Cruz with a single and a walk so far today. Another foul ball. Another foul ball. That one past Dave Anderson, the third base coach.
Did he miss it?
Dave said, I'm going to let it go.
Let it go. That's smart coaching. Get there without a glove. Could use a helmet, but it's hard. It's not like a soft cap that you can catch a ball.
Jamal Weeks has it pop out of his glove and roll away as he went into the dive. So Cruz is going to have a base hit. 7 hits now for Texas. And A's pitchers just cannot get a 3-up, 3-down inning. It's not going to happen here in the 6th either.
And Jamal made the play. Made it on Andrus in this last at bat, last inning, but did not come up with this. A little bit hit harder by Nelson Cruz.
Napoli takes a big rip at a high fastball. Fouls it just to our right. Oh, with Napoli hitting, Weeks playing way over near second base. Napoli's double in the 5th inning actually went down the right field line. Just watching him swing, you immediately think he's a dead pull hitter, but he does hit the ball the other way with pretty good power.
He's a hitter that if the count is in his favor, he is going to be a pull hitter. He's going to swing hard, but smart hitter when that trying to hit behind the runner, knew the right side of the infield was going to open up, And when you see a second baseman playing as close as Weeks was, you know that if the runner is going to be on the move, the entire right side of the infield is going to open up. 17 hits to the right side by Napoli, one of those today.
Good pitch. Strike 3 called right down around the knees. Couple of strikeouts for Bruce Billings in the 6th. Bottom of the 6th coming up. All right, welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning. It's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Some entertainment with answers down very near home plate in between innings.
Made it tough on Matt Harrison as they were dancing behind home plate, and he had to soft toss instead of airing it out for fear of. I mean, look at him warming up, and that's the backdrop. Is Matt Harrison taking his warm-up tosses to Mike Napoli and saying, "Please don't miss one, Mike."
Well, Sizemore is going to dig for second, and he's got Sizemore with a leadoff double.
See, maybe that was a good play. Harrison wasn't ever willing to air it out and loosen up on his 8 tosses.
So the dancers,
yeah,
they're helping us out.
That's a double for Scott Sizemore. There they are. See, he's up
and away.
Yeah, he's just said, "Oh, I got to take my time, and you know, I don't want to hit one of those in case I airmail my catcher." Now he lets it air it out, and first pitch to Sizemore, a double.
They were about a foot away from the umpire, where the umpire would stand. So that's the 4th hit for the A's, and it's a leadoff double. David DeJesus will try to get him in. DeJesus a walk and a line out to short. The A's trailing 6-2. DeJesus is 1 for 8 in the series. He's walked a couple of times. So 88 pitches now for Matt Harrison. Center field. And Hamilton has it. And staying at second base is Sizemore.
Well, after DeJesus went deep in Toronto, Roger Center on a home run, solo home run. Every time he swings the bat and the ball goes to center, you think it's going to travel, but this one died quickly. Out of the hands of
Now batting,
Josh Hamilton playing center this afternoon.
number 8.
So one out for Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki is 0 for 2. And a fly ball to center field and a ground out to third. Well, the A's did get the couple of runs on the Matsui error. But hitting with runners in scoring position has not been good today. I got him 0 for 7 with one of those at bats being the ground ball that Matsui hit that Kinsler missed to bring home a pair.
Let's give him a hit, make it 1 for 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, you go throughout a season and you see those numbers, and without a pitcher bears down a lot more when he has runners in scoring position. Do not get the same type of pitches, and see scouting reports say what a pitcher does when he has runners in scoring position versus starting an inning or nobody on base. It usually results in a lot of breaking pitches that, as a hitter, you get with runners in scoring position, where a good fastball thrown might result in a base hit.
So Suzuki behind in the count 1-2. Breaking ball, but Kurt lays off.
Okay, Sizemore at second base, or really, he runs well. He's getting a tremendous lead off second base. He could probably walk to third. With 1 out, he could be there with less than 2 outs. Kinsler just to give him a courtesy look at second base, but really not making an attempt to hold him.
Harrison and Napoli now on the same page, and they're set for the 2-2 pitch. And now it's a full count. 94 pitches thrown by Harrison. Kurt reaches for it and loops it down the right field line. That's going to drop for a hit. And that's going to get Sizemore home, and it's 6-3. So the A's clawing their way back into it. Suzuki with an RBI single.
Now you can tell with the approach as Harrison was staying away from Kurt Suzuki, and it's about all he could do with the pitch. Might have been out of the strike zone, probably was, but just laid the bat on it, and no chance for Cruz to get to it. He did hold Suzuki to a base hit. A nice protected swing by Suzuki, ends up getting Sizemore home, so no need to steal third to get there with less than 2 outs. Suzuki able to bring him home. A lot of hits to the opposite field, as we continue to see.
Here's Brandon Allen. Breaking ball drops low.
See, Allen seen pretty much all fastballs today. First pitch with a runner on base. It's a hard slider.
Tadayama starts to throw. 2 singles and a run scored. And that one's driven left center. That's hit pretty well. Murphy going back. He's near the wall. It's over his head, up against the wall. Suzuki hits the bag at third. They're waving him home. Throw to the plate is not in time. Suzuki gets in. Very close play at the plate. It's 6-4 and the RBI double from Brandon Allen.
Again, a young man showing that he can swing the bat, and with some pop to the opposite field. Yesterday, Josh Hamilton made a great play on a ball going back, but Murphy played in left field today as this ball just kept carrying. And Kurt Suzuki got at second base and kind of stopped. Did not know if Murphy was going to catch it or not, and then had to pick up the speed. Gallego had to send him, and this play a lot closer than you thought it was going to be. And according to the first base umpire, Ted Barrett, that he said Kurt Suzuki got his foot in safely. And that was the rotation. There's the throw, there's the tag, and did his knee get in? Evidently something did before the tag. Very close. But
A's may have got a break there.
yeah, I think so. He could have gone.
Suzuki's lead leg was up in the air a little bit.
It was, and I think Ted Barrett saw it as being down, touching the plate, and that's why he pointed at it. Regardless, he's able to come up with it. More importantly, Brandon Allen, his third hit of the day, he scored a run, trying to score another one at second base.
Pennington goes after the first pitch, opposite foul back. So a couple of doubles, a single in the inning, and the A's have scored twice to make it 6-4.
I tell you, if the A's keep going on this, those dancers will be back out the bottom of the 7th inning.
Sooner than that, maybe.
Well, performing behind home plate, distracting the pitcher. Yeah.
Breaking ball for a strike, and it's a quick 0-2 to Pennington, who walked and scored in the 5th inning. He also hit a fly ball to center field in the 3rd. So 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Right at 100 pitches with Tadayami ready to go out in the bullpen. So I can't imagine Ron Washington going a whole lot longer with Harrison, who looks like he may be running out of gas a little bit here in the 6th inning. I don't know that for sure.
It's amazing what a pitch count will do, and 102nd coming up.
Rolled past Mike Gallego down toward the bullpen mound.
It's almost as if as a pitcher approaches 100 pitches, there's a big wall that's staring him right in the face. It's a wall, and you train for what you get, basically, and if it's starts to decline as you approach a certain pitch count, like Maddox to your right, Ron Washington looking on, trying to make that decision, called a balk.
So the balk called, and Allen will go to 3rd.
It's called a quick pitch.
Yep.
That's the only thing it could be. Ron Washington, but you cannot argue a balk unless he just wants to find out what he did. That's all Wash can do. Just confirmation. What did my pitcher do? Because he's going to put a runner at 3rd. But with that situation, just see if he do it run real time.
There was a little movement
yeah,
on his leg, maybe. It looked like his
upper body.
Yeah, something moved just right before he started his delivery.
If you watch him as he comes to the set position, he paused long enough, but watch him start right. He's going to start it and then stop. That was just enough. And
well, that was it. Just watch his movement a little bit.
He pauses. Right there.
It looked like his right leg.
His whole body just
yeah.
kind of went down, and that's what the umpire saw. So, well, the Rangers are going to gift the A's the run if they can hit a ground ball. Pennington put the ball on the ground, and the A's can get a run.
2-2 pitch outside. Now a full count to Pennington.
Well, the previous pitch should not have been a pitch. Did they count that? It doesn't count. So it should be 2-2.
Yeah, I think the count is correct. Yeah, you're right. They should not have counted it, and I don't think they did. Although
I had him at 2-2.
Did you?
Or at well, the A's have had
3 opportunities with a runner at third, less than 2 outs. One, the Matsui ground ball helped the A's score.
This one's popped up foul. Fuentes throwing for the A's.
That's a big run. If they could close with him 1, Harrison's going to be coming out of the game soon. You've got now lefty Darren Oliver loosening up with Teddyama.
It is still only the bottom of the 6th inning.
Sometimes a slow game can be beneficial for a team that's behind. It's the case of the A's today. Been behind since the 1st inning.
Another 3-2. Outside, he walked in.
The count was correct, and that is a 10-pitch at bat. So Francesco's, who, by the way, brought some food over yesterday, but Cliff Pennington will get to visit them on his own.
So everybody.
This is a stalling tactic maybe for Darren Oliver, who got up after the right-hander, and maybe they want to turn Weeks around, leave him at least batting right-handed.
Well, there is nearly a 100-point difference between Weeks right-handed and left-handed. Much better from the left side.
Mike Maddox looking down the bullpen to get confirmation, and he's going to have 8 tosses on the mound, so whatever he doesn't get in the bullpen should be able to make it okay. But
so Ron Washington now is coming out, so he's going to make a pitching change. So the A's are back in it. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Rangers with a 6-4 lead. The A's are coming back. Matt Harrison out after 5 1/3. Gave up 3 hits and a walk here in the 6th inning. So 108 pitches for Harrison. And the matchup now is the lefty, Darren Oliver, against the switch hitter Weeks.
Well, Oliver, the veteran, he has no problems coming in a situation like this. He's faced a lot of these situations and trying to get out of it. But you see the A's battling back, and both clubs could look at costly errors, allowed a couple of unearned runs to score. So in essence, this is the same type of game that before that happened. Harrison, too many walks. Too many pitches.
First pitch to Weeks is bounced into left field, a base hit. Allen scores. It's 6-5. Second hit for Weeks. He's got an RBI.
Well, a hanging breaking ball from the veteran Oliver, and Jamal Weeks jumped on it. And third baseman playing kind of even with the bag, and Jamal planted the front foot and drove it right past the third baseman Michael Young. Good job of hitting. No chance for anybody to get to it.
So it was 6-0 Texas. Now it's 6-5. And it's only the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Coco Crisp. Pennington at second, Weeks at first. Pop up. Moreland into foul territory, and he's got it. So Coco's 0 for 4.
Now the Hideki Matsui, one of the best things we saw. First pitch hitting, barely came back, and Matsui unloaded on the first pitch from Darren Oliver for a walk-off.
Ace took 3 out of 4 from the Rangers in that early season series. So Matsui steps in. First pitch is a fastball for a strike to Matsui, who was struck out in a fly ball to center field and reached on that air. Kinsler missed the ground ball, and 2 runs scored. Strike 2, another fastball. This one in the outer half.
Hideki Matsui has a very good idea of the strike zone, and that setup by Mike Napoli, Tommy Cam might have shown that the right-handed batter's box.
To pitch, just a bit inside. That may have been more of a strike than the one on the outside.
Exactly. Boy, it could have been. Yeah, that looks like it's very close to being a strike. We've got a chance to see the 0-1 pitch that was called a strike.
Another fastball that runs this one way inside. 2-2 count. So the A's have scored 3 times.
This is the one that was called a strike. Close. It's also a little bit high, so obviously the home plate umpire liked it.
Matsui had a good rip there, fouls it back.
A couple of fastballs outside, and then he missed 2 fastballs in. Could have gone fastball or slider. He did decide to go to the fastball and fouled back.
And that, did it hit him? No. Well, he was somehow able to get out of the way. Not quite sure how.
Well, that's scary close, and Matsui somehow took the stride, brought the hand in. Said, take the hand off the bat, bring the right hand in, avoided hitting the bat, and then went down hard. The thing about Matsui, he's been around long enough. It's not going to affect him if it goes back outside. It's not like he's going to be bailing. Just may hit a bullet someplace to left field.
Payoff pitch, runners go, and the pitch is hit high, right field. It's foul territory, and it's going to be back in the seats. Moreland, the first baseman, went down there, and he just could not find it in the sun.
Went to the slider, and Moreland indicating that he didn't see it, which fortunately for him, the ball was in the seats. He's looking around, asking for help. Bullpen, we don't see it either. We're just enjoying ourselves down here. But after all fastballs, Oliver decided to throw the slider on 3-2. And Decky a little bit out in front.
We'll do the 3-2 again with the runners moving. That one looped to left field. That's a base hit. And we're going to be tied. Pennington scores. The A's have dropped a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 6th. 6-6.
Well, the great thing about Hideki Matsui, nothing phases him. Knock him down, pitch away. This was after a slider. He went back to the fastball and may have been off the plate, but the same pitch was called a strike for strike 2. And with the runner on the move, Murphy actually had him played perfectly with the ball right to him, but with a 3-2 count, Pennington able to score without a throw.
So Darren Oliver faces 3 hitters. 2 of them get base hits. We got another pitching change. Tied at 6. Sports at California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Come try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99 plus tax at Jack in the Box at participating restaurants. Four runs on 5 hits. There's also been a walk. There's been a balk. And the A's have tied up this game 6-6, bottom of the 6th. As Yoshinori Tadayama comes in, he pitched on Friday night, 1 inning through 19 pitches.
Not overpowering, just a little funky delivery, and that throws the hitters up. In fact, they saw him on Friday night, might help them this afternoon.
Willingham goes after the first pitch and fouls it back.
Just have to get Harrison out. Well, Harrison will get a no decision, as will Rich Harden. Rich went just 4 innings, but Harrison 5 1/3, and 6-0 was the score before the error by second baseman Kins allowed a couple of unearned runs to score. 6 runs, 4 earned runs of the 5 1/3 innings for lefty.
This one's popped up. Willingham got a pitch to hit. Andrus, the shortstop, has it. Side retired. The A's score 4. So after 6 from the Coliseum, we're tied at 6. Our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Richard from Fresno asks, do catchers use different signs for the two-seam and the four-seam fastballs? Good question.
Yeah, they do, and it's a good point, because as a catcher, you have to know, because if you call a four-seam fastball, obviously that pitch is straight. A two-seamer is going to have movement. And Kurt Suzuki will, this is a left-handed batter. He's asking for the fastball away to Josh Hamilton. And if there's going to be movement, this could be a situation where it'd be a two-seamer. He wants it to be away. It could be a four-seamer. It wants on the corner. And it's a base hit. But this is multiple signs with a runner at second base. But, you know, the bottom line, a catcher does not want to be surprised. He wants to call a four-seam fastball. He wants it to be straight. If he's calling for a two-seamer, in the case of Trevor Cahill, throws a lot of two-seam fastballs, you want to know that, because the ball is going to move. It's going to go down. Four-seam should be straight. A much easier pitch to handle. So a good question, because, yes, that's why, too, some pitchers love to get a baseball has a scuff on it, because they can make it do funny things. Other guys will throw the ball back in. Well, the catcher needs to know if that ball is scuffed or not, because he could ask for a four-seam, and if it moves because of the scuff on the baseball, he could get in serious trouble.
Brian Fuentes comes in out of the A's bullpen. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil Change, Tune-Up, and Smog experts as he faces Mitch Moreland.
I caught Gaylord Perry with a great pitch that he threw. And if you didn't know it was coming, you're in serious trouble. So any pitch with movement, you better know what's going to be happening.
And, you know, from a viewer standpoint, too, we as baseball announcers, we say two-seam, four-seam fastball all the time. All announcers do. So you hope that the fans understand exactly what it is.
Well, everybody on the field, with the exception of pitcher, wants to throw a four-seam fastball. You never want to throw a two-seamer any movement if you're an infielder or an outfielder.
Oh, so you're saying if Cliff Pennington is throwing the ball to first base on a ground ball, he wants to throw a four-seamer
all the time.
So it's straight.
Straight. Yeah. You want every throw from the infielder, outfielder, or catcher to be as straight as possible. So that's why you catch the ball, and when you put your hand in the glove to pull the baseball out, you can roll the baseball that's in your hand to be in a four-seam grip.
So 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Moreland, and that's out number one.
A good changeup by Brian Fuentes, and had the big, strong left-handed first baseman way out in front of the pitch. A good pitch by the veteran lefty.
So you're also with a two-seam fastball, which you're going to get more movement. You're going to have a little less velocity than a four-seam fastball, which you give up velocity for moving.
Well, if you're Bratton Balfour, who's warming up right now, he throws a four-seamer. He could throw 95, 96, and you don't care they have the movement. But in the case of a ground ball pitcher, as Balfour listening, but a ground ball pitcher, when you throw a sinker or two-seam fastball, you, as a hitter, hit on top of the ball, which beats the ball in the ground, and thus you get the ground ball out. Four-seam fastball, get line drives, some home runs, depending on the velocity. But Trevor Cahill is so effective, and when he tries to overthrow, he may get a little more velocity, but he's not get the natural sinking action. As a result, he does not get the ground balls that he's looking for.
Torrealba pokes it, and Weeks goes out, dives, and cannot quite get to it. Torrealba just reached out and drops it in for a hit. So he's 2 for 4.
Well, the only chance was going to be for Jamal Weeks going out. Thought maybe the way the part of this game has changed, that he might be able to put the glove on it. Almost got it, just ran out of room, ran out of reach.
So 8 hits now for the Rangers, both teams with 8 hits. So Murphy will face the left-hander. And Murphy skies one left center field. Coco Crisp is going to make the catch in front of Willingham. So Murphy is retired.
A left and center fielder with a tough sun. And there is definitely not a cloud in the sky. You can get a different angle. If your left fielder going over, you might be able to see the ball better. That one's going to go to Balfour, but this is a ball that center fielder usually likes to take charge. Coco struggling a little bit, then picked it up and ran in front of Willingham. So there's center fielder taking over, left fielder deferring to the man in charge in center.
So Fuentes faces 3 hitters, gets a couple of outs. Balfour coming in to face Kinsler.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Chevy's giving you more value this season with Chevy free parking Tuesdays every Tuesday home game, with the exception of premium games and dual events with the arena. You will pay nothing to park, courtesy of Chevy. See your Northern California Chevy dealer for a great selection of Chevy cars, trucks, and crossovers. For more information, visit oaklandathletics.com/Tuesday. Or Lunes Marcus Miracle. Let's just say that would be Lunes Marcus.
I agree.
Trying to do the days of the week and since it's Fiesta.
Yeah, it's a good effort.
Yeah. Bad result.
Grant Balfour comes in as he faces Ian Kinsler. 2 outs. Torrealba at first. Balfour has not pitched since Tuesday in Toronto, so he's had 4 days off. He should be strong.
Bob Melvin using this tie game at the A's down 6-0. Now have it as a tie game, using it as if it was an A's lead, as Grant Balfour has been pitching very, very well for the A's. 4-1 record, but his main role is the 8th inning. He will try to get the 3rd out in the 7th, get the A's the lead, and then pitch the 8th.
Kinsler's been hit by a pitch and scored a run, grounded out, singled, reached on an error, so he's been on base 3 times. Fastball, strike 2-1, 94 miles an hour.
That's called a 4-seam fastball. Straight, velocity, excellent location.
Short lead for Torrealba, and now the count is 3-1 with Elvis Andrus in the on-deck circle. Now Kinsler, he's got pretty good eye, but he does not get cheated either, so he may feel like on 3-1. Balfour could challenge him. He likes to throw his fastball.
He'll challenge him. It's just a question of location. And he won the challenge, did Balfour, and more likely to do the same thing. Relief pitcher falls behind. He's going to go to his #1 pitch, and for some reason Kinsler kind of waited, almost as if he swung. He wasn't sure that he was going to get the 4-seam fastball. Balfour does throw 4 pitches, but fastball is the best one.
Kinsler The right field, DeJesus is under it, and he's got it. Side retired.
You hear the fans?
So 7th inning stretch coming up. 6-6 game. Seventh inning.
Now, Bob Melvin, no doubt disappointed in seeing his club down 6-0, but has to be very happy to make it an even game now, 6-6 in the 7th inning. It was Scott Sizemore who started it last inning. First pitch double to right field. No difference. The dancers weren't behind the plate for Takayami to warm up, distract him a little bit.
They helped us. He's got 4 runs thanks to the dancers.
Would Mickey Moore beat us?
Quick 0-2 to Sizemore. Be followed by DeJesus and Suzuki. Each team with 8 hits. Texas has made a couple of errors. The A's have made 1 error. Slider, 3/4 delivery from Tadayama.
Hitting the road, take the Oakland A's with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Oakland A's game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
So here's DeJesus trying to get aboard. DeJesus takes a strike. Good swing there by the A's right fielder.
Sure, with the Rangers making their moves to get a couple of relievers, Uhara and Adams, that they feel a little bit more comfortable in these situations when the starter just goes 5 1/3 innings, as Harrison did today. Even though the A's have tied the game, but a couple of strong bullpens right now working head to head the remainder of this game.
The Rangers lost quite a few games early in the season where the bullpen did not shut the door. But they did what they had to do to, in what they hoped, to clarify that bullpen situation.
Before the All-Star break, when we were in Texas, Ron Washington, the skipper, was talking about their bullpen and how they were going to make a big effort before the deadline to make some moves. And there is one right there from the Orioles. The A's will see the next 3 games. Uhara pitching a little bit different climate now at home in Arlington. Although Baltimore can get a little steamy, but Arlington, Texas seems to be always that way.
And more so this year from what the Texas people are telling us, where they've had just brutal weather down there.
And I think the consecutive days of 100+ ended by a degree or something. Just someone was telling me that a couple of days ago. But
cool 99.
Yeah, cool 99. The A's, surprisingly, that trip before the break, played at 105 first pitch. Was the hottest game ever to be played at the ballpark. First pitch anyway.
Backdoor slider, strike 3 call.
DeJesus thought the ball came around the plate. And this one's going to show it out there, but what does Tommy Cam show? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that ball came around this way, and that's David was correct. And it said no way. And you know, it's not where the catcher catches the ball, because in essence it has to get there by going around the plate, especially with a backdoor breaking pitch that the Alma is through.
That one, a tailing fastball for a strike to Kurt Suzuki. Well, we've always had the hot weather in Texas, but I think, Ray, the hottest weather we've had this year was in New York.
No doubt.
That Friday night game at Yankee Stadium, I think it was 102.
Humidity.
It was more humid than even down in Texas, I think. And the Saturday game, the day game in New York, it was about 99. Just felt it. Just off the top of my head, those were the two that stood out.
Well, it affected Joey Devine because he could not grip the baseball. Right. Water perspiration kept rolling down his hand on the baseball. And Laird, who had his major league debut at the first pitch behind his back from JD.
Driven to right field where Cruz is under it, shading his eyes. He's got it. So Tadayama has a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're going to the 8th inning. It'll be Andrus, Hamilton, and Young.
Saturday, August 20th. That's next Saturday. The show, set to Elvis hits and presented by Chevron, begins after the A's play the Blue Jays here at the Coliseum. Bring the family and your picnic blankets and enjoy the show from the outfield grass. For tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
So Grant Balfour will face the meat of the order.
And Clay Wood will once again have fans on his outfield grass, or people on his outfield grass. This time fans, last time football players.
Yeah, he loves that.
And bleachers.
Clay does not like it when you walk out on his field, unless you're a player. If you have a uniform on, you're okay. Anybody else, get off the field. First pitch strike to Elvis Andrus. He'll be followed by Hamilton and then Young. So the big guys against Balfour. Elvis Andrus had a double in the second inning. He's 1 for 4. He was robbed of a hit by Jamal Weeks in the 5th. Weeks made a diving play. Old foul. Is that an animal?
Yes, it is. One of Clay Wood's great groundskeeper. Got a great crew. And we're trying to figure out who's going to get the foul ball.
Rangers, looking at the scorecard, have stranded 10 in the first 7 innings. The A's have stranded 6. Andrus skies one to shallow left. And Willingham is under it, and Willingham has it for out number 1.
But Pennington really hoping that Josh Willingham took charge and charged the ball, came in and made the catch. Difficult for an infielder going out. Try to make a play on a fly ball with a tough sun. Pennington trying to find it, and then here's Willingham says, "Thank you, teammate."
It's a good matchup here. Balfour against Hamilton, who is 1 for 4. And Hamilton swings at a pitch in the dirt, and it somehow skips up over the backstop and into the seats. Good pitch with a fastball on the outside corner. So Balfour, the first pitch to Hamilton, threw him a breaking ball.
Well, he was looking fastball and then throwing the fastball with 0-1 count.
Popped foul, and it'll reach the seats.
A big story, of course, continues, I'm sure, about Josh Hamilton having difficult time picking up baseball during daytime baseball, and you never, though, believe that. Just when you think you've got him because he might not be able to pick up a pitch, that's when he drives it. Base hit in the first inning that the Rangers score 3, but since then he's 0 for 3.
He shoots that breaking ball to left. Willingham on the move, still on the move, and he makes the catch.
That's what makes Josh Hamilton so dangerous, because he uses the whole field, but Willingham had him played perfectly with a slicing line drive. Got a great jump, did Willingham, and was able to pull it in and take a double away from Hamilton. Had the ball gotten past him, might have been a triple, because who knows, with the momentum of Willingham going towards the line, how that would have affected the ball, but made a nice play for the second out.
So Michael Young takes low. 0 for 2 with a couple of walks for Michael Young. Adams looks like he's ready to go as he's just standing out of the bullpen mound. 2-0. 3-0. Nelson Cruz is the on-deck hitter. Would Michael Young have the green light?
Well, you never know. And he's a type of hitter that I would say usually not because he's more of an opposite field hitter. You does have 10 home runs and can hit home runs. Mostly though those are hit to right field, right center. And his home park in Arlington, he might have the green light and might try to do exactly that. This time he draws a walk.
It's the third time he has walked in the game. And that is now 7 walks issued by A's pitchers. Here's Cruz.
Now batting, number 17.
Cruz is the Rangers' home run leader with 25.
Well, and you can never also just forget about Michael Young at first base, because they've not hit a home run in this series, which means it doubles and singles, and right now single scoring runner from second. You just have to pay attention.
One's low. Cruz has had a good game. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. He's also walked. He stole the base. Four for 10 in the series. Michael Young not really a base stealing threat. That's not a situation where he may do it, but he still runs pretty well.
Well, that's the kind of the element of surprise sometimes that will work. And Rangers, as we have seen under Ron Washington, are very aggressive, and at times you think you don't want to take the bat out of a power hitter's hands. That's when they take off.
Cruz hits a fly ball to right field. DeJesus is underneath it. He's got it. Side retired. So Cruz flies out. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Still tied at 6.
Heck, no way!
Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. This was the bottom of the 6th inning when the A's scored 4 times. Brandon Allen with a big RBI double going the other way.
37, Mike.
The A's ended up scoring 4 times. They got 5 hits, and they turned a 6-2 deficit into a tie game. That was the big hit right there by Hideki Matsui, a 2-out RBI single. That's how they tied it up. That's your game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. 6-8-2 for Texas, 6-8-1 for the Athletics. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Mike Adams comes in. Adams' first pitch to Brandon Allen is a swing and a miss. Adams pitched yesterday, 1 inning, had a couple of strikeouts through 21 pitches. Adams coming over at the trade deadline from the San Diego Padres. He was a huge part of that Padres bullpen. Of course, took the Giants right down to the wire last year. Anybody who played the Padres last year, a looper, and it's going to be caught. But Padres had such a great bullpen, they turned it into a 6-inning game. They had Gregerson, Adams, and Bell, and 6 innings. That's the way it went. 7, 8, 9, and they had a lot of success doing that.
How do they have a 10-game losing streak? They'll be thinking about that for a long time.
I think you're right, because that allowed the Giants to overtake them.
What we saw in spring training, of course, the offseason, the spring training guide comes out and it shows players, acquired players, no longer with the club, and Padres had a couple pages, it seemed, of number of players changed teams. And
well, and you wonder too, with the situation in San Diego, they had such a good year last year and came up just short. But now it looks like they're going to rebuild again, and they're 14 games under 500 in last place.
And that's why you see teams that are close, like Cleveland Indians this year. Maybe we're not expected to do as much as they have, but made some moves to help them. These will finally be in Cleveland the next road trip. The only trip to Cleveland at the end of August, 1st of September.
1-2 to Cliff Pennington. The Indians were rained out today at home. Detroit lost, so the Indians actually picked up a half a game. They're now 2.5 back in that AL Central. White Sox won, so the White Sox picked up a full game. They're 4 back. So that is a division that's the 3-team race. Yankees were rained out and the Red Sox lost. So that is just a half-game lead now for Boston over New York.
With Boston and New York, both clubs with 72, 73 wins, they're both going to be in postseason, or at least be surprised if they're not, just because of the record of the wild card.
Murphy's under, and that's out number 2. The Phillies got rained out. The Braves lost. So that is now a 9-game lead for the Phillies in the East, and they're going to win that division. Milwaukee won in the Central again. The Brewers stay hot. They've won 9 out of 10. St. Louis plays tonight, so the Brewers have a 5.5 game lead in the National League Central. In the West, the Giants won today 5-2. Arizona is winning again. Arizona's hot. They've won 5 in a row. So right now, that's a 1.5 game lead for the D-backs over San Francisco. Good series coming up with Arizona. They go to Philadelphia, and their road trip. The D-backs, Philadelphia and Atlanta this coming week. So they'll be tested there.
No, the Diamondbacks, with the rain out, that means they get Doc Halladay.
Yeah,
they're not going to skip him.
That's right. Halladay was supposed to pitch today. Thanks a lot. I'm sure Gibson appreciates that rain out. Weeks grounds out, so Adams has a 3-up, 3-down inning, and we're still tied as we head to the 9th. Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Full highlights from our game here. The A's and the Rangers. 49ers. How are they going to improve their offense in the final round of the PGA Championship? Dave Benz and Damon Andrews will host. So the A's go to the bullpen again. Andrew Bailey comes in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Bailey pitching the top of the ninth. It's a tie game. Napoli, right field. It's going to be foul right near the bullpen. DeJesus gives chase. 0-2 with a 1.85 ERA for Bailey. He'll face Napoli, Moreland, and Torrealba, 6, 7, and 8 in the Rangers lineup.
And typically the closer comes in, pitches the ninth inning, hopeful that the A's in this case would score a run in the bottom half, because the closer is only good to pitch one inning. Billings, Fuentes, Balfour, now Bailey. Relievers.
Napoli got a fastball to hit and fouls it just down the right field line.
Speaking of those four just mentioned, at least the three prior to Andrew Bailey have done an exceptional job after Rich Harden departed after 4 innings. 2 runs, both unearned. Billings on the mound. Very good job for 2 innings.
Toward right center, hit pretty well, but Coco's there, shading his eyes. He's got it. 1 out here in the top of the ninth. See, pretty much every player's battled that sun today.
Now batting, number 18, Mitch Moreland.
There's Mitch Moreland. Moreland is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Breaking ball drops in for a strike. Moreland with 13 home runs on the year. He's 2 for 11 in this series. A's will host the Baltimore Orioles next 3-game series starting tomorrow night. A night game tomorrow, a night game Tuesday, and then a day game on Wednesday. And then the Toronto Blue Jays will be here for 4. So the 10-game homestand continues with the Orioles tomorrow night.
And Baltimore flying out as we speak because they played a home game today and be en route to the West Coast right now.
Moreland late on a fastball.
Angels also en route to their home after being in Toronto. And they may not even know what's going on here. Maybe they got on a plane, saw the A's were trailing 6-0, figured, oh well, we'll be 4 games behind after they lost today. A's trying to make it 3 and help themselves. After losing the first 2 games, they've got a bad losing streak against the Rangers. 5 leading into this series.
3-2 pitch is low, and it's a 1-out walk.
Be a pinch runner for Moreland.
Maybe Gentry.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, riding for Moreland, number 23, Craig Gentry.
So Gentry will run for Moreland
now
with 1 out here in the ninth. So here's Torrealba. 2 more hits today for Torrealba. Two for 4. 4 for 12 in the series. There's a note for you, Ray. Craig Gentry is really a part-time player. He has 83 at bats. He's 12 for 12 in stolen bases, and he's got a good lead. And he may have been going as he was leaning, but it'd be hard to think of a better time to try to steal a base than right now. Bottom of the order up. He's a rookie stolen base leader. So Gentry again. He's got 12 and has not been thrown out. Torrealba straight back. Gentry not running. Timeout was called.
Well, the only thing there is go back to the Yankee series when Cano attempted to call timeout. Andrew Bailey was actually in a set position, but he was kind of trying to freeze Gentry. So that's when home plate umpire allowed the timeout. Now the quick pitch.
So quick 0-2. Left-handed hitting David Murphy is in the on-deck circle, and Neftali Feliz, the Rangers closer, is up. Torrealba swings and misses. Strikeout for Bailey, and that's the second out here in the night.
And it went right after him. A nice cutter, maybe the bigger slider, but bottom line, it's an all-speed pitch, and Torrealba aggressively swinging 3 pitches in a strikeout. And I don't know if Gentry is thinking about running or not, but one thing Andrew Bailey is doing is altering his delivery and his set time before releasing the ball to the plate.
First pitch to Murphy is a strike on the outside corner. Murphy 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. He scored a run. Gentry has not made a break for second yet.
Sometimes they think that maybe if the ball is hitting the gap, he's going to be able to score anyway. So they want to take a chance of being thrown out second.
In the bottom of the ninth, the A's will have Crisp, Matsui, and Willingham. After Willingham, it would be Sizemore. Strike again on the outside corner. Murphy doesn't agree. So 1-2.
Well, here's what we're looking at, and been pretty consistent. Has home plate umpire John Tupana.
There goes the runner, and the pitch is off the plate, and it is going to be a stolen base for Gentry, so he gets his 13th. So 2-2 the count. That's the go-ahead run now. He's playing Murphy toward left center field. He grounds one up the middle center field, base hit, and the Rangers are going to take the lead. Gentry streaks around third, comes in to score, and it ends up the stolen base. Helps the Rangers get a run as Murphy just grounds one right back up the middle.
So the walk to stolen base and a base hit, and 87 slider, too much to the plate, and little things that a team does to win. And Gentry did not run until actually a couple of strikes on the hitter. Maybe that's the reason no attempt was made to throw him out of second base, but that in itself a little bit surprising because there was 0 attempt, and maybe Kurt Suzuki felt that Gentry had such a big lead, could not throw him out anyway. So that will be Neftali Feliz warming up with the bullpen.
Murphy gets his 23rd RBI, and it's a big one. 7-6 Texas. Kinsler pops a foul back. So the walk to Mitch Moreland ends up being the base runner that scores. Cue shot. Brandon Allen has it, steps on the backside, retired. Rangers get a run. Murphy with a big 2-out RBI hit. Bottom of the ninth coming up, 7-6 Texas. Bottom of the ninth, the Rangers have the one-run lead at 7-6. They bring in their closer, Neftali Feliz. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So Feliz with 22 saves on the year. He does have 6 blown saves, so the save percentage not great for Neftali Feliz. He has been a little shaky at times this year.
Now catching and batting in the 7th position, number 2, Taylor
Mike
Teagarden.
Napoli moves
Now pitching for the Rangers,
from catcher to
number
first
3,
base.
Neftali Feliz.
And Taylor Teagarden takes over behind the plate. Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, was pinch run for.
Leading off the load.
So Coco Crisp will lead it off, try to get something going. The A's trying to avoid the sweep at the hands of the first place Rangers. A's were able to come back and score 4 in the 6th to tie the game at 6. And then the Rangers get the 2-out RBI hit in the 9th. First pitch to Crisp is a high strike.
Coco has not played since a week ago last night, and a little frustration from him today on some pitches that he probably thought he should have been driving. But when you miss as much time as he has missed in this past week, same pitches that you normally would be playing every day, just does not always happen. This would be a great time for him to get on, and if he's running well, to utilize his speed.
Feliz pitched in yesterday's game, even though it was a 7-1 final score. Feliz threw 20 pitches, had a walk and a strikeout in his 1 inning of work. One-two pitch, foul back. Crisp hanging in there. So 1-2 the count with Hideki Matsui in the on-deck circle, and then Willingham. Just missed outside, 2-2. Coco is 0 for 4. He did reach on an error in the third inning.
And he's a 4-pitch pitcher, and he helped the Rangers go to the World Series last year. Rookie of the Year in American League. Outstanding closer last year. Like you said, this year has not been Mr. Automatic as he seemed to have been last year.
ERA significantly better last year, and just to simply look at the save percentage. 40 for 43 last year, 22 for 28 this year. Two pitch, and Coco may have chased ball 4. He hits it pretty well, but Hamilton's going to get back there, and he's got it.
Now the Fremont Bay plays of the game. Let's give it to Mr. Gentry. Stolen base, no throw to second base, so he stands up with the very next pitch. David Murphy got a breaking pitch, found the hole up the middle, and Gentry trying to score a 2-out run, the 7th run for the Rangers in this game, who at one time had a 6-0 lead. But it took the top of the 9th for them to add one more thanks to that man's base hit. David Murphy, who playing today is Chavez getting the afternoon off. Hamilton moving to center field. And you're right, Coco chased ball 4. Pitch was up in the zone a little bit, and very tough to drive a ball that's up in the zone a little bit when you're underneath it.
So Matsui steps in. First pitch is low.
Watching Josh Hamilton, a very good outfielder. A lot of times we talk about an outfielder breaking back on a ball. He actually broke in on Coco's ball and then took several steps back and caught it. You'd rather have that if you can go back on a ball versus the opposite and not be able to get to a ball in front of it.
1-1 to Matsui, who is 1 for 4. He singled in the tying run back in the 6th inning. He lined a single to left field. That made it a 6-6 game. He also reached on an error in the 5th. Has hit a fly ball to center field and a strikeout swing. Drilled to right. Plenty deep, but foul. Matsui with 11 home runs this year.
That's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He just raked it and definitely knew he had enough.
So Neftali Feliz ahead in the count, 1-2 to Matsui. The emergency swing from Matsui stays alive. Willingham will be next. All the other games are final in Major League Baseball except for the night game, and there's also 3 rainouts today. Jam shot, and Teagard racing back, can't get it. So Feliz got in on Hideki Matsui that time. Way in. Neftali Feliz, just 23 years old. He turned 23 in May. He doesn't look a whole lot older than that, does he?
No, he does. Actually younger.
Matsui. John Tumpeng says you went around, and that's a strikeout, and that's out number 2.
Well, and again, why a home plate umpire would even think about doing it, especially in this critical of a game. And he went over the top to look at it and hopefully see a side. Let's see what the side shot looks like. And
Number 16, Josh
And Dickey, who normally does not say anything, definitely said it then, but still the bottom line, just wish the home plate umpire would always defer, because it's tough to watch the baseball to see if it's a strike or not, and then to see a hitter if he swings or not.
So here's Willingham, the last hope for the Athletics. Swing and a miss. There's the good fastball from Feliz at 98 miles an hour. Willingham is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Willingham is the A's leader in home runs. He's got 19. Feliz tries that high fastball, and Willingham does not chase. 2-1. If Willingham were to get aboard, Sizemore would hit. Slider that is outside. So hitters count for Willingham, and Josh, pretty good hitter. He may take a good rip at this one.
If he gets a fastball, that's the question, whether he would do that. Pitcher given to the hitter with 19 home runs.
He got a good pitch, and he had a good swing, and he fouled it back. 97 miles an hour, maybe a little off the plate, a little outside.
So a good run for Josh Willingham if he gets on.
Outfielders are straight away and very deep. Infielders, at least Michael Young, guarding the line at third. He's about 2 steps off the line. Three-2 pitch to Josh Willingham. Willingham hits it high and foul right side.
Well, that one at 98, so twice going to the fastball. 3-1, now 3-2.
Popped up, foul territory. Napoli, he's got room and he's under it. He makes the catch, and that's the ball game. So the Texas Rangers continue their dominance over the Athletics. They come to the Coliseum, sweep the 3-game series, and the A's have now lost 8 consecutive games to the Texas Rangers. Final score this afternoon: the Rangers get a run in the top of the 9th. They defeat the A's 7-6. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Jim Kozimor and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.